Men are insane, absolutely unhinged. And if you don't give them the attention they feel like they're entitled to, or you bruise their ego in any way, they will try to harm you severely. So first I saw this woman telling the story of her friend. So long story short, the friend rejected a guy on a dating site. They just didn't mesh. This guy built a whole nother profile of a more handsome man, right? And, gets all this information about this woman and then sets up a date with her, right? She goes to meet the handsome guy that she got catfished into meeting. Obviously, that guy doesn't show up. But who was there was the guy who built these fucking crazy profiles, preying on her vulnerability and weakness. Oh, you look sad. You just get stood up. Oh, let me have dinner with you. And they have dinner, and, she thinks it's a fairy tale. Long story short, she marries this guy, and he tortures her for ever so long, and then she finds out the origin of this. He got his fifis hurt, and he decides to marry this woman. And I said, God, this sounds really familiar. Oh yeah, because a guy did this, only it ended up with a unaliving. That's right, a man had a baby and literally unalived the baby just for revenge. So this man, Ronald Schaunebarger, who apparently is a lunatic, got really upset because his girlfriend at the time was out of town on a spring break trip with some friends when his father passed away. Natural causes, nobody did anything to anybody. And mind you, she was on a cruise, but he wanted her to come back immediately and come hold his hand. At the time, they were just girlfriend and boyfriend, and she was like, no, I'm not doing it. So he hides his hatred for her in his heart and continues to court her, proposes to her, marries her, and has a child with her. And then on Father's Day of that year, he smothered their child with plastic, literally suffocated the baby, and then says to her, and now you know how I feel. His own son. The son was months old by that point. So you had the baby, you bonded with the baby, all for this moment of revenge against your wife for not catering to your feelings. When there's zero chance you would have done the same for her. But these men are so entitled, if you don't center your whole life around them, they will be angry and they will be plotting revenge. And you're thinking to yourself, these are outliers. Yeah, these men are horrible, but it's just a couple of guys, but it's not. How many movies, how many TV shows are dedicated to this idea of men getting revenge on some woman who probably didn't even know that they were alive? Some woman who turned them down for a date. Some woman who, didn't give them the return that they felt like they deserved on their investment in a relationship. It's just so normalized in the pop culture landscape. You know, bands like Maroon 5 with Adam Levine have this origin story of getting revenge on a woman who they feel like did them wrong, and it's just so popularized and normalized. People are cheering them on. People never think to ask about the background of the story. Well, why did you even feel like that's okay? Because I don't care what a man does to a woman. If you are still talking about it past a certain time, people are going to say you're the problem. You just need to move on. You need to let that go. Stop being bitter, no matter how wrong he did you. But men are carrying around grudges because some girl didn't like them back in middle school and everybody thinks it's perfectly normal. It's psychotic. An easy way to spot this guy, though, is they're going to have their behind on their shoulders. They're going to have a huge chip on their shoulder. Every woman is an evil harpy because, one didn't love him back. So listen out for that. If a guy is expressing some sort of anger towards humanity, like womankind as a whole, you need to run. Because that guy has a warped sense of values and whatnot, and he's going to try to take all his frustration on everything that's wrong in his life out on you. Women are easy targets because when a man is dissatisfied with his life, he is often told it's a woman's job to make it better. Oh, if you were only this, that, and the third, he would be where he wants to be in life. If you were supporting him, he could have gotten that promotion. Like, they're able to transfer a lot of their self frustration onto you. Do not allow them to do it. Run.